এ পুণ্য করিবে যাবে রাধা রানী খুশি হবে ধ্রুবাতি বলে তো মাতায় কৃষ্ণ তব পুণ্য হবে ভাই কৃষ্ণ তব পুণ্য হবে ভাই श्री सिद्धांत सरस्वती शची सुत प्रिय अति कृष्ण से बाजारा तुलना से मोहंत गुरु जगतेर मधे उरु कृष्ण भक्ति दे थाय थाय कृष्ण तब पुण्य हबे भाई कृष्ण तब पुण्य हबे भाई तारा इच्छा बलवान पाश्चात्य ते थान थान होए जाते गौरांगेर नाम पृथ्वी ते नगरादी या समुद्र नडनाडी सकले लोय कृष्ण नाम कृष्ण तब पुण्य हबे भाई कृष्ण तब पुण्य हबे भाई ताहले आनंद होए तबे होए दिग्विजय चैतन्य कृपा अतिशय माया दुष्ट जत दुखी जगते सबाए सुखी वैष्णवेर इच्छा पूर्ण होय कृष्ण तब पुण्य हबे भाई कृष्ण तब पुण्य हबे भाई से कार्य जे करिबारे आज्ञा जदि दिलो मोरे योग्य नहीं अति दीनहीन ताई से तोमार कृपा मागितेछे अनुरूपा आजी तुमी सबार प्रवीण कृष्ण तब पुण्य हबे भाई कृष्ण तब पुण्य हबे भाई तुम्हारा से शक्ति पेले गुरु से बाय वस्तु मिले जीवन सार्थक यदि होए। से सेवा पाइले ताहाले सुखी होले, तब संग भाग्य ते मिलो। कृष्ण तब पुण्य हबे भाई, कृष्ण तब पुण्य हबे भाई। तुमी मोर चिर साथी, भूलिया मायार लाठी, खाइयाच जन्म जन्मांतरे। आजी पुनः से जोगो, जदि होए जोगा योग, तबे पारी तुम्हें मिले बारे। कृष्ण तब पुण्य हबे भाई, कृष्ण तब पुण्य हबे भाई। तुम्हार मिलन भाई, आभार से सुख पाए, गोचरणी घोरी दिन भोर। काटा बने छुटा छुटी, बने खाए लुटा पुटी, से दिन कबे हबे मोर। कृष्ण तब पुण्य हबे भाई, कृष्ण तब पुण्य हबे भाई। आजी से सुविधाने तोमार स्मरण भेला, बड़ो अशदा खिलामताय। आमी तोमार नित्य दास, ताई कोरी ताश, तुमी बिना गति नाय। कृष्ण तब पुण्य हबे भाई, कृष्ण तब पुण्य हबे भाई। कृष्ण तब पुण्य हबे भाई, कृष्ण तब पुण्य हबे भाई।
The song name is Boro Kripa Koile Krishna. Boro Kripa कोइले कृष्णा अधमेर प्रति घोर कृपा कोइले कृष्णा अधमेर प्रति की लागी अनिले हेता करो ए बेगती चेखीछु कार्य तब ए अनुमाने नाहे के नवानी बेन ए उग्रस्ताने रजस्तम गुणे हेरा सबाई आचन्ना वासुदेव कथा रुचि नाहे से प्रसन्ना तबे जदि तबा कृपा होए आहे तू की सकल संभव होय तुम्हें से कौतुकी कि बावे बुझाले तारा बुझे से रसा एत कृपा करो प्रभु कोरी निज बाशा तुम्हारा इच्छाया सब होय माया बाशा तुम्हारी इच्छाया नाश माया पराशा तब इच्छा होए यदि तादेर उद्धार बुझी তবে ক্ষত সে তোমার। ভাগবতের কথা সে তব অবতার। ধীর হইয়া শুনে যদি কানে বার বার, রজস্তম হাতে তবে পাইবে নিস্তার। হৃদয়ের ভদ্র সাথে ঘুচিবে তাহার। কি করে বুঝাবো কথা বারো সে চাহি। ক্ষুদ্র আমি দীনহীন কোনো শক্তি নাহি। অথচ এনেছ প্রভু কথা বলিবারে। যে তোমার ইচ্ছা প্রভু করো এইবারে। अखिल जगत गुरु बचन से आमार। अलंकृत कोरिबा क्षमता তোমার। तब कृपा হলে মোর কথা শুদ্ধ হবে। শুনিয়া সবার শোক দুঃখ যে গুছিবে। আনিয়াছ যদি প্রভু আমারে নাচতে। নাচাও নাচাও প্রভু নাচাও সে মতে। पुतली जथा नाचाओ से माते भक्ति नाई वेदन नाई नामे खूब धारो भक्ति वेदांत नाम एबे सार्थको रो भक्ति वेदांत नाम एबे सार्थको रो भोरो कृपा कोइले कृष्ण अधमेर प्रति खिलागी अनिले हेता करो ए बेगती भोरो कृपा कोइले कृष्ण अधमेर प्रति श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्ण। हाँ हाँ गुरुदेव कृपा बिंदु दिया कोरोये दासे तृणापेकातिहीन सकल सहने बल दिया करो निज मन स्पृहहीन
कृपा बिंदु दिया करो ये दासे न पे करती है सकल सहने बल दिया करो निज मन स्पृहाहीन सकले संबान करते शकति देहनाथ जता जाता तबे तो गाइबो हरि नाम सुखे तबे तो अपराध हवे हाथ कबे है न कृपा लभियाए जाऊं कृतर्थ होइबे ना शक्ति बुद्धिहीन आमी अति दीन करे मोरे आत्मसात कृपा बिंदु दिया करो ये दासे तृण पे करती है योग्यता बिचारे कुछ नहीं पाए तुम्हार करुणा सार योग्यता बिचारे किछु नहीं पाए तुम्हार करुणा सार करुणा ना होइले कांदिया कांदिया प्राण रखिबो कृपा बिंदु दिया करो ये दास ऋण पे करती है कृपा बिंदु दिया करो ये दास ऋण पे करते हैं कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Is it audible? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So very happy to welcome all the devotees for this very special festival celebration of the 128th appearance day of His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. So, To begin with, we would request Mukundmala Prabhu to kindly come and explain us first the meaning of Vyasa Puja. What is exactly the meaning in our glorious Gaudiya Sampradaya? Mukundmala Prabhu will explain to us. And post that, we would request His Grace Krishna Chandra Prabhu to kindly offer the Vyasa Puja book 2024 to His Divine Grace on his Vyasasana.
Hare Krishna. So in Prabhupada's lectures and Prabhupada's writings, we oftentimes see how Prabhupada is proudly talking about his fidelity to the parampara, his predecessor acharyas, and he would always defend his statements based on quotations from the acharya statements. So similarly, he would describe how Vyasa Puja is a function, is a celebration where we have to show our loyalty to the parampara and show that we are dedicated to the mission of the parampara. So in his various quotations, he mainly gives two purposes of celebrating the Vyasa Puja. One, he says, is to receive the blessings, knowledge, and the mercy of the Guru Parampara. In one lecture, he says, this is chalked out by Krishna, and by Parampara system, we have understood this philosophy. Evam Parampara Praptam, Imam Rajarshayo Viduhu. So keep this Parampara system. This Vyasa Puja is Parampara system. Vyasa Puja means to accept this Parampara. Vyasa. Guru is a representative of Vyasadeva because he does not change anything. So as it is, Bhagavad Gita as it is, every message is transmitted as it is. And in another place he says, why we celebrate Vyasa Puja is because we want to give our honor and worship to Krishna. So one is to receive the blessings and knowledge from Krishna through the parampara. And we celebrate Vyasa Puja to give our honor and worship to Krishna. So the parampara becomes the medium through which we offer. So he says, if you apply something, at least in India, to the president, you will have to submit it to the local collector. The collector will submit to somebody else, then secretary, and this you go up to the president. So our system is that it is not that I am training my disciples to worship me, man worship. I am getting some honor from them for nothing. No, it is not that. Whatever honor, whatever respect, whatever presentation you are giving to your spiritual master, it will go to Krishna by the parampara system. This is Vyasa Puja. So in this way, today we have assembled here to offer our respect and worship through the Guru Parampara, through Prabhupada, to Krishna, and to receive Krishna's blessings, grace, and transcendental wisdom through the Parampara, through the Bhaktivedanta purports, and we can make our life successful. Hare Krishna.
And as a custom, we all know that every year ISKCON comes out with the Vyasa Puja, a book for this year, which has the offerings of devotees, centers, his own direct disciples. And on behalf of our temple, we would like to request Krishna Chandra Prabhu to offer this Vyasa Puja book to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki!
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you, Krishna Chandra Prabhu. So, before we call out the devotees to make their offering, we are all here assembled for a festival, right? It's a festival, it's a festive time. You all agree? Yeah, we had a fantastic festival in Janmashtami, and today is another very, very special festival. And in a festival, what do? We celebrate, right? We have celebrations. That's what festival is all about. And what are we really celebrating today? We are celebrating the glorious life of Srila Prabhupada. Sachinandan Swami Maharaj writes in one of his small books, he said that Srila Prabhupada is the greatest spiritual celebrity. You know, we all have celebrity culture, right? It is just everybody wants to follow celebrity. But he said Srila Prabhupada is the greatest spiritual celebrity. And now the very word celebrity comes for the fact that their life is a celebration. But most of the celebrities, I don't want to really say, but usually their life is a disaster. But Srila Prabhupada's life is a real celebration, right? So what we are doing here is, in the words of Radha Govind Maharaj, he says that we are having Srila Prabhupada Jivanotsava. We are having Srila Prabhupada's life celebration, and that is today. So we are so fortunate to be part of this wonderful celebration. So what are we really celebrating? We are celebrating the glorious dedication of each and every moment of this person's life and what Srila Prabhupada has done. He has practically, not practically, literally altered the way people live in the world. He has altered the way people live from the world. You agree? He has altered the way people think of spirituality. He has altered the way people understand the purpose of their life. So it's practically altered. So alters people's life is a great celebration, is a great achievement. So that is what we are celebrating. 81 years of his life in the material world. Of course, he is always with us. But we are celebrating 81 years of amazing life, which is a celebration. And for the next maybe 90 minutes, 1.5 hours, we are going to embark on a beautiful journey where devotees, around 15-20 of them, as a representative of the congregation, will be making their verbal offerings to Srila Prabhupada. And how do we all participate in this? Right? I was just thinking that, and in fact this was also said by His Holiness Niranjan Maharaj in one of his talks. I said then, when Krishna's devotees are glorified, Krishna is hearing with rapt attention. So today Radha Gopinath is going to be hearing Srila Prabhupada's glory with rapt attention, because this is the dearmost thing to Radha Gopinath, to hear exclusively the glories of one of their most celebrated devotees. So how do we assist this? First is through many of us are not speaking, but we can support this by giving full attention to what is spoken. And the second thing is to not have any impediments in people speaking. And for that purpose, I would request all of you to kindly remove your phones and switch it to the silent mode, if not off mode. Right now, because we always think that my phone is all right, but then it rings. So I think that's the best way, one of the ways we can really support this, not to have any interference in our this thing, offerings. And Srila Prabhupada's life had many, many milestones. You all know what is milestones, right? Some special event. So 1896 in our year is known for which milestone? Srila Prabhupada's appearance day, right? So similarly, as we go through our discussion, we will be mentioning various amazing life milestones in Prabhupada's life as devotees are coming forward and making their offering. So we will begin our offering by calling His Grace Dayal Chandra Prabhu to kindly come forward and make his offering, and would request Shyamananda Prabhu to be ready.
Dear Srila Prabhupada, kindly accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Guru and Gauranga. Your appearance day, I wanted to give honor to qualities of yours. It was in March 21st, 1976. You were in the morning walk at Sridham Mayapur. Prabhupada, he said, why he had success in preaching machine. You must be always convinced that if we simply take up the knowledge given by the Krishna, then you are perfect. Little success is there for me. Prabhupada says, little success is there for me more than others Swamis and yogis, was due to the conviction on this point that I never compromise with anything which is not spoken by Krishna. Then he looked all the devotees and he said, did you mark it? Devotees said, yes, Srila Prabhupada, yes, I marked it. And one Pancha Dravida Maharaj, he asked Prabhupada, he was the Prabhupada disciple, he said, Prabhupada, will you please repeat the reason of your success? Will you please repeat the reason of your success? So Prabhupada said, because I stick to Krishna's word, I go to present Bhagavad Gita as it is. I don't make any amendment. Rest of them amended Bhagavad Gita, that is why they are failure. And next one is, it was in December 22nd, 1975, Mumbai. Prabhupada was replying a letter to a devotee. The devotee has written a letter with a poem form. And he was writing to Prabhupada's approval. The poem form was addressing to Krishna. Lines were like this. O Krishna, your devotee is calling so sadly. Your devotee is falling badly. Your devotee is trapped in the city of 9 gates. Prabhupada replied back. He appreciated the poem and said, one should not think himself as a devotee. He wrote back to him. Therefore, the poem should be read as follows. Your servant is calling so sadly. Your servant is falling so badly. Your servant is trapped in the city of 9 gates. After signing the letter, even your ever well-wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, again he has added there, even Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu consider himself as a kinkara, as a servant. So we should follow his footsteps. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Srila Prabhupada.
Srila Prabhupada ki. Thank you, Dayal Chandra Prabhu. And the next milestone is 1901. Any guesses? 1901, what happened? Will not give much time. 1901 was the year that Srila Prabhupada started his Jagannath Rath Yatra when he was just 5 years old. And that is why we call it a milestone, because this Rath Yatra, which is started, whatever started small, became a worldwide event. And that is why we call him one of the greatest devotees of Lord Jagannath. So we request Shamanand Prabhu to kindly come forward, make his offering, and Krishna Chandra Prabhu, please be ready.
Hare Krishna. One kind of a stressor is to decide what to speak in your offering. It's a good stressor, forces you to meditate upon the personality of Srila Prabhupada. So I stumbled across So I stumbled across this series of books on deep meditations on Srila Prabhupada, and they are aptly called Prabhupada Meditations by Satsvarup Das Goswami Maharaj. So this is from Meditation 2, and this is focused on Srila Prabhupada and the holy names of Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada he arrived on the scene in New York, and immediately the young crowd which came to 22nd Avenue could understand that this is a guru who sings. There were yoga teachers who would perform yoga, give lengthy philosophy discourses, question answers, interviews with reporters, press coverage. But Prabhupada was one unique personality where he would be singing. Of course, there was philosophy, but this is what people could immediately feel. Then when Prabhupada used to come to that small storefront, he would give kartals. First, he would teach the simple 1, 2, 3 melody. Of course, I think all of us know. Tak, tak, tang, tak, tak, tang. That's how it is. Simplest of all melodies. The young seekers would ask him, "Do you teach meditation?" Hare Krishna temple, as we read in the Lilamrit, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, classes on Bhagavad Gita. So the question would be asked, do you teach meditation? And Prabhupada would answer, we chant the holy names. All right. So apart from chanting, what else do you do? Just that. And in true parampara, Prabhupada would repeat what Lord Chaitanya, he talked about, Guru more murkha dekhi karila shasan. How my spiritual master called me a fool. And that is exactly in parampara what Prabhupada would repeat in the late 60s or almost throughout his preaching. You are incapable of doing yoga. You are incapable of understanding deep Vedanta philosophy. But you can make full advancement in love of God by chanting. And that was the faith. And I don't think it can be imitated. It can be, or how somebody has that kind of a faith. One disciple says that in a Prabhupada Memories video, how a Calcutta businessman said, he asked him in Hindi, Swami ji, ye sab kaisa ho gaya? Swami ji, how did all this happen? And Prabhupada replied in Hindi, main wahan gaya. I went there to New York. Hare Krishna gaya. I chanted Hare Krishna. Ye sab log aaya. And they all came. And he said, apart from that, nothing apart from that. So, there were other ashrams who also would chant Hare Krishna. Once Prabhupada invited some followers, let us go, they have given us an invitation, we'll chant there. And somebody said, oh, they also have this chanting. And then Prabhupada gave this piece of wisdom. Others do chant, but ours is heart and soul. This is what we are. We are Hare Krishna chanters. In Hawaii, one day Prabhupada told his whole team, Satsvarup Maharaj was in the editorial team, Pradyumna Prabhu was in the Sanskrit team, there was an assistant, a secretary. He called everyone to his room and he started chanting. Sudama Prabhu, devotee who joined in, I think Hawaii only, and he was told to lead. So he started chanting, and in few minutes he realized this is not exactly Prabhupada's tune. So he stopped and said, I'm sorry, Prabhupada, this is not how you chant, this is some other tune. And to everybody's amazement, Prabhupada said, no, you chant. That is your ecstasy. So Satsvarup Maharaj comments that even at that early time, Prabhupada would encourage, and he said, we were kind of honored that at this budding stage of our bhakti, we have ecstasy. So that was a unique thing. And finally, many times this happened, Prabhupada would just say, I want everyone to come to Mayapur and chant. Of course, we are going there in this Kartik. So, everyone? He says, yes, everyone. Mayapur simply should have chanting, and chanting. So, Rameshwar Prabhu, at that time, the BBT manager and other managers, they came and said, Srila Prabhupada, does it mean that all the worldwide centers, devotees should leave everything? Temples, deity worship, programs, management, maintenance, cars, vehicles, everything? So Prabhupada said, well, I didn't mean literally, but that's the spirit, that we all should be chanting. So this is a simple snippet from Srila Prabhupada meditation by Satsvarup Goswami Maharaj. Srila Prabhupada, thank you very much for giving us the holy name. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Shyamanand Prabhu. And today's very special festival, as we mentioned, it has become very, very special by the presence of one of Srila Prabhupada's very, very dear disciple. So let us welcome His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. it's been years that we have not had his presence, and we are very, very fortunate to have him for this wonderful event. So the next milestone of Srila Prabhupada's year is 1922. Anybody quickly? Yeah, so we all know that this is one of the most historic meetings of two people in the world, which practically changed the world. So this is a milestone event, 1922, where Srila Prabhupada Abhay Charan was pushed by his friend Narendra Mullik to meet His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and we all know rest is history. So this is a very, very important milestone event in Srila Prabhupada's life, and we would request His Grace Krishna Chandra Prabhu to kindly make his offering, and Lalita Priya Mataji, please be ready.
Hare Krishna. So, how a pure devotee really relates to Krishna is something that mystical, wonderful, ethereal relationship, of course, we would never understand. But what we do know from the Shastra is that there is a direct communication, a communion through whom he becomes a via media and Krishna speaks through him. And that same pure devotee, Srila Prabhupada, in his interaction with his disciples, especially the very surrendered souls, how there's some few mundane moments, so-called mundane moments or routine moments, which transformed not just the individual's lives, but also created historic matters in the future. So I'll just give a couple of illustrations. Like His Holiness Sridhar Maharaj, for instance, when he went to ask Srila Prabhupada for sannyas in 1975, so His Holiness Jayapataka Swami was there in the room, so he relates. He said that Prabhupada asked him directly that, how are you 100% sure you will be able to maintain your vows? So Sridhar Maharaj was so honest and straightforward. He said, no, Prabhupada, I can't be 100% sure. And Prabhupada said, okay, can you be 75% sure? And he said, no, Prabhupada, I can't be 75% sure. And Prabhupada asked, Prabhupada asked him, okay, can you be 50% sure? Then Sridhar Maharaj said, yes, 50% I can be sure. And Prabhupada knew the heart of Sridhar Maharaj. So as Jayapataka Maharaj relates, so Prabhupada gave him sannyas. And we saw that for the next 30 odd years, he was very staunch sannyasi, his highest integrity, etc. So then, and Sridhar Maharaj's influence on so many disciples, thousands of people, etc., all happened just because of that one moment. Prabhupada understood his heart. Once, also Mukund Maharaj, he writes in his book that he was one of the first disciples who took initiation in September of 1966, and also got married, the first marriage in ISKCON. His wife Janki, so that time Mukunda and Janki. So this was in September 66. In October 66, within 3 months of opening the matchless gift, he went to Prabhupada and said that, Swamiji, I would like to, we are leaving for India. At that time, New York was the only center. It was 3 months old. And Prabhupada Swamiji was quite astonished, saying, oh, why? Then he explained to him that, 2 times before, even before meeting Prabhupada, he had made attempts and somehow it never happened that he could go to India. And he explained, and he said, the environment there will be very conducive. He had already taken initiation. So Prabhupada said, okay, are you flying direct? He said, no, I'm going to Oregon, where I come from. And then from there I'll go. So Prabhupada said, okay. Then he took his blessings, said goodbye. And then as he was walking out, before he could reach the door, Prabhupada just mentioned, so Mukunda Maharaj just turned around, said, it will be a very great service if you can open a center in the West Coast. So Mukunda at that time, he just shrugged and gave a half smile and he just walked out. He said, okay, he said, but when he was going down, he said, why did he have to, after the blessings, then why did he have to bring this matter? But he dismissed it, he saying, I mean, that's okay. When I'm going back to India anyway, going to India. And then he and his wife, they drove all the way to about a few thousand miles. So they met his very dear friend Dustin and Melody, that is Shyam Sundar Prabhu and Malti Mataji, who were extremely interested and they had never met Prabhupada, and they heard what is happening, their life is transformed. And then they said, but why don't we, why do you want to go to India, you know? We'll come, we want to wrap up everything and come. And his summer's job was over, so he said, I'm coming there, and then we can open a center. And then his wife, Janki, also was saying that, you know, she was never very comfortable. She said, Prabhupada, this Swamiji is telling us, and why do you want to go to India? So again, the third time he dropped it. But because he dropped it, just one statement of Prabhupada, and he just asked him, he opened the center. I mean, he was one of the key people who opened the center, and we know San Francisco became such a vibrant center. So many devotees came there. Likewise, Tamal Krishna Maharaj writes that, you know, even the matter of when there was in the height of the book distribution, and then there were some issues, management and the brahmacharis and the grihasthas, and so Srila Prabhupada in 1974 felt, 75, that, you know, he just called Tamal Krishna Maharaj and said, you know, I think you should go to China. And he took it more as a kind of a light statement. But Prabhupada meant it. He said, no, I mean it. And to his credit, he sincerely attempted and tried. And that was the initial seeding that happened in Hong Kong and China. And we know how there are hundreds, if not thousands, of devotees, you know, in that difficult situation also. And all that happened only because one person really took his guru's words and went all the way to China, which was an impossible situation. And lastly, Jayapataka Maharaj himself writes that, you know, he had plans in the US. This was in 68. Within few months of his taking initiation, he was very happy to serve in, it was very dynamic, and he had gone to various centers. And Prabhupada wrote to him, there were 3 different times he wrote to him. He said, I have big plans for you in India, and I have told Achyutanand that he will write to you, but only, I would like you to go to India, but only if you get a 2-year visa, not a short-term visa. Again, he wrote to him after a few months, and again, 3rd time, and by that time he got the visa. So it is very unusual that in one situation he told his disciple, go to China, and another situation, somebody wanted to go to India, he said, no, don't go. In the case of Jayapataka Maharaj, he told him, and he encouraged him also to learn the Bengali language, which he spoke fluently. So, and we know how the transformation, just one request and one instruction rather, he went to India and then became a citizen of India later, you know, with Srinathji Prabhu's father's help. And completely now, you know, he has thousands of disciples in the villages and all that. So you can see that many of these things we can see dozens of years or maybe decades later, that what the implications are. Just when Prabhupada, a pure devotee, has understood through the instructions or through the medium of communication with Krishna, and he translates into instructions or advice or a light comment, and disciples pick it up, and then so many millions of people have been benefited. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Krishna Chandra Prabhu. Humble request again, a reminder to switch off your mobiles. And the second thing is request the speakers to restrict as far as possible to 3 minutes of your speech. So we request Lalita Priya Mataji to come forward and make her offering, and Radha Krishna Prabhu, please be ready.
Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Dear Srila Prabhupada, I am not a person who can hold the mic and speak. Then why am I doing it today? Because of you, your love, Prabhupada, the love, care, and attention of your devotees makes a person do what normally one will not do. By your grace, there are ISKCON temples in almost all the major cities of the world, and many more are opening. Whenever your followers meet, there is chanting of holy name, that is japa, singing of kirtan together, sankirtan, the yuga dharma. There is worship of the deities, that is serving the Lord. There are lectures on Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, etc. That is hearing the message of the Lord. There are yatras, that is visiting holy places, not just Vrindavan, Mayapur, Jagannath Puri, etc. In fact, every temple of ISKCON is also a holy place. In every temple, in addition to the above activities, there are various festivals being celebrated, giving people participation. There is book distribution, that is giving your mercy to all. There is cooking, prasad distribution, that is feeding people. There is preaching, that is showing compassion to people. Garland making, cooking, prasad serving, interacting with guests, guiding people in spirituality, that is counseling. Every temple becomes a hub of activity. People get engagement, that is positive engagement. What is the net result of all this? Net result is people's lives change for the better. What happens when one engages in devotional service? The heart is satisfied. A sense of overwhelming love for God arises in the heart. Negativity goes away. Compassion arises for those not engaged in devotion. The sense of competition gives way to cooperation. One does not waste time, but rather uses time. I can narrate one real example which happened almost 12 to 15 years back. One Mataji came to our temple. She wanted to know about Bhagavad Gita, and she also asked, why do we worship deities? She wanted to know what is the goal of our religion. She had many questions and doubts. She had no time to come to our evening programs hosted in the home of our devotees, like counseling meetings, satsang programs, etc. Then we had a Rath Yatra festival at Kolaba. We asked her if she could come to make kajas in the morning between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. She agreed and she came and made kajas. Next day, she said, it was nice serving with so many devotees. It was like a festival, she said. Then she said, all my doubts are cleared, all my questions are answered. That is the power of devotional service. Now she regularly comes to the temple for service and holds programs in her house sometimes. Her faith has become strong. She is very happy. Love of God has fructified. Srila Prabhupada, the soil is our daily life. The seed is your grace. The watering is our daily devotional practice, that is surrendering to God in our small way. The plant sprouting is Krishna's grace. The flower is our satisfied heart. The fruit is love of God. The seed of your grace gives the fruit of love of God. Makes a wasteful life purposeful. Srila Prabhupada, you, just by giving love of God in a practical way, you have transformed people's lives. I'm ever grateful to you and Shri Guru and Gauranga. Thank you.
Thank you, Lalita Priya Mataji and Radha Krishna Prabhu. Kindly make your offering and request Tulsi Manjari Mataji to be ready.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada, you came to this material world with a particular purpose. You are a visionary, so you had a vision. You knew exactly what you wanted to do to engage people in Krishna's service. With this in mind, for people like us to try and follow the vision, you give us what we call as a mission. And this mission you gave in a beautiful manner in which the Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojan are all so nicely put into these 7 purposes of ISKCON that you made, without actually using those words. Just as Lalita Priya Mataji was saying just now, that the whole point is engaging people in Krishna's service, and somehow that love of God fructifies. So I will just read out this mission which you have given us. Srila Prabhupada founded ISKCON in July of 1966. The incorporation document states 7 purposes of ISKCON. To systematically propagate spiritual knowledge to society at large and to educate all people in the techniques of spiritual life in order to check the imbalance of values in life and to achieve real unity and peace in the world. Second, to propagate a consciousness of Krishna as it is revealed in the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Third, to bring the members of the society together with each other and nearer to Krishna, the prime entity, and thus to develop the idea within the members and humanity at large that each soul is part and parcel of the quality of Godhead, that is Krishna. Fourth, to teach and encourage the Sankirtan movement of congregational chanting of the holy name of God as revealed in the teachings of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Fifth, to erect for the members and for society at large a holy place of transcendental pastimes dedicated to the personality of Krishna. Sixth, to bring the members close together for the purpose of teaching a simple and more natural way of life. Seventh, with a view towards achieving the aforementioned purposes, to publish and distribute periodicals, magazines, books, and other things. Thank you very much, Srila Prabhupada, for so beautifully putting these points in a document so that we may be able to apply it in our lives to fulfill your vision. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Radha Krishna Prabhu. And while Tulsi Maji Mataji is making her offering, we request Krishna Nam Prabhu. Please be ready.
Hare Krishna. As a small boy, Srila Prabhupada wanted to start a Ratha Yatra from his home. He requested his father, Gaur Mohan Dey, to give him a cart. His father obliged, and thus the first Ratha Yatra was started by Srila Prabhupada in a small way. And now we have Ratha Yatras all over the world because of his mercy. Muktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, his Guru Maharaj, had asked him to go abroad and preach
the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu all over the world in the English language. He did this very sincerely, and but it took some time for him to start to implement it. In 1955, Srila Prabhupada took sannyas, and for 10 years after that, he was in Vrindavan translating books in the English language so that he could do what his Guru Maharaj had asked him to do. In 65, he went to the US with just 10 rupees in hand and a few copies and a translation of the literature in English, without knowing whether to turn left or right and what. He didn't have any disciples or people coming to him for almost a year. After that, because of his sincerity and love for Krishna, some few devotees started joining. He incorporated ISKCON, called the movement International Society, with so much confidence without in having a single temple. That was the faith he had in his words of his Guru Maharaj and the mercy of Radha and Krishna. In 67 in San Francisco, Malti Devi Mataji brought 3-inch small deities. She didn't know they were deities, thought they were dolls, but because they were made in India, she took it to Srila Prabhupada thinking that he would be happy. As soon as he saw the idol, he bowed down before them and said, "This is the Lord of the universe." Were there any other entities also with this? And Malti Mataji brought Balram and Subhadra Mataji and placed them in front of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada said, "This is the Lord of the universe and we should worship them." He instructed Shyam Sundar Prabhu to make 3 feet long copies of these deities. And then he said that we should worship them. The beginning was very small. They had a candle on a plate which they offered to Lord Jagannath, and very few deities and hippies attended the program. He passed on that after offering it to Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra. It was passed on to the deities who put their palms on the lamp and touched it to their head. This was what they taught them. And with a few flowers and fruits which were brought, the worship started. This was a very small beginning. He said, it is better to worship Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra rather than worshipping Radha and Krishna, because that worship is very elaborate and they were not in advanced enough to do that. Later on, he said that we should have the Rath Yatra. In Jagannath Puri, once in a year, they have the Rath Yatra, and we should also have it. And he asked Shyam Sundar to make a Prabhuji to make a cart for them, which he did. Dayanand Prabhu was very helpful. He did a lot for collecting funds and paraphernalia needed for the worship. Because of his sincerity and his love for God, many shopkeepers gave him large donations and whatever was needed for the worship. In this way, the first Rath Yatra started, and Srila Prabhupada was very happy with all that Dayanand Prabhu did. And he said that his photo should be kept on the chariot in every Rath Yatra. He was not in good health, suffered from leukemia, but he helped a lot in organizing Rath Yatra almost in all parts of the US. Because of your mercy, Srila Prabhupada, and the mercy of your disciples, we have been able to be a part of the ISKCON and hope to serve you and devotees nicely. Thank you for your mercy.
Thank you, Tulsi Mati Mataji. Another milestone event happened in 1925. Any quick guesses? 1925, Prabhu's Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, first time went to Sri Vrindavan Dham. This is the first time that Prabhupada went to Vrindavan Dham in his current form, of course. And of course, that was a milestone event because in due course, Srila Prabhupada took Vrindavan to the world, and now the world is going to Vrindavan. So this is a very, very special event. So while Krishnanam Prabhu is making his offering, would request Radha Mataji to please be ready.
Srila Prabhupada, on this very auspicious day of your appearance, I just would like to dwell onto this very wonderful quality of yours of taking care of devotees, which was the foundation on which you built ISKCON. Right from the time that you landed in America and were trying to teach the principles of Bhagavad Gita to the few people who were interested. And at this ripe old age of 69, 70 years, you were not only preaching the message of Bhagavad Gita, but in addition to that, you were cooking the prasadam for them and serving out to them, washing the pots and pans, and getting ready for the next event that was coming up. And until the time that the devotees did not offer to help you out with washing the pots and pans, you never even wanted to tell them that this was a service that was available to be done. So this was the standard of devotee care that you set up right from the time you landed over there. And even today in ISKCON, we see how this is that one particular aspect that is attracting people to come and take shelter of your lotus feet. Just a few years back, one of our devotees was required to take a surgery. And naturally, he was very stressed how his surgery is going to be turning out. And, he was reaching out and connecting with doctors, and he got the operation date fixed. And the next day was the surgery, and he was not sure whom to reach out to and ask him to come along with him. So that day at night, he met one of the brahmacharis and said, Prabhu, tomorrow morning is my surgery, and I'm scheduled to be at the hospital. So this devotee immediately said, what time are we required to be at the hospital? So, this word, what time, this particular word, we, that was added to that whole statement made such a impact on this devotee. He said, oh, there is somebody who is there with me, to be at the time of the surgery. And his heart was completely at peace. So now, by Srila Prabhupada's mercy, we have a wonderful department here at Radha Gopinath Temple. We have the Seva Sthan department, which takes care of the devotees' health. They takes care of their well-being, physical well-being. We have Gauravilas Prabhu, we have Makanlal Charan Prabhu, Sukumar Krishna Prabhu, three wonderful devotees who are so experts in so many different fields. Like we all know, Gauravilas Prabhu is considered to be the Shlokacharya of Radha Gopinath Temple. When he sits on the Vyasasan and gives a Bhagavatam class, it's absolutely so shastric. But in addition to that, not many know that he accompanies the brahmacharis to Bhaktivedanta Hospital and holds their hand and stays with them till their recuperation is completed. So he is more loved for reaching out to the brahmacharis at the time of their need as he is loved for giving a wonderful Bhagavatam class. And so is Makanlal Charan Prabhu, Sukumar Krishna Prabhu. So this is devotee care which actually touches people's heart, transforms them, and makes them feel a part of the family. Like I was just sitting over there next to Dayal Chandra Prabhu, and Guru Maharaj came to Dayal Chandra Prabhu and told him that I was standing over there and hearing your offering. And Dayal Chandra Prabhu was so touched, he was so happy, just that one expression of love. And all of us have experienced this. when devotees are coming to us and telling us, such encouraging words that make us feel that we are part of this wonderful family of Srila Prabhupada. So we are very, very fortunate, Srila Prabhupada, to be here. And all by your mercy, all by mercy of all the devotees who are assembled over here and who have done so much for us. And I'm sure there'll be more and more devotees who would be part of this glorious movement of yours, Srila Prabhupada. And you're continuing to shower your mercy on all of us. Eternally grateful, Srila Prabhupada, and I hope that the remaining part of my life I'm able to continue to serve in your mission and try to do some little bit in your service. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Krishnanam Prabhu. Request Radha Mataji to kindly make her offering, and Damodar Prabhu, please be ready.
I pray at the lotus feet of Guru and Gauranga for their blessings, that I may be able to do justice and properly glorify Srila Prabhupada on this most auspicious day. Srila Prabhupada's outstanding personality is filled with wonderful qualities, and today I will touch upon one prominent quality, which is gratitude. Gratitude is a quality that is pleasing and endearing to one and all. Only when we start valuing what we possess and understand our fortune as compared to many others in this world, we will be grateful for the situation that we are placed in. Gratitude follows humility. Therefore, we often find that people who are grateful are also usually very humble and appealing and have appealing personality. Srila Prabhupada is an endearing example of this. He dedicated his whole life for the benefit and upliftment of so many millions of suffering living entities. He went through so many difficulties and sacrifices just to follow his Guru's instructions and spread Krishna consciousness. Because of his humility and gratitude in his heart, he did not expect anything from anyone in return, except that his disciples become nice devotees of Krishna. He preached through his personal example. In spite of being Jagat Guru, he was always humble and was always grateful. So I just wanted to give a few examples from the letters that he's written to his disciples that really enhance this quality. You are representatives of Lord Chaitanya without caring for any stable home, without any thought of personal gain. You are traveling, distributing Krishna consciousness everywhere you go. I am very grateful to you both for assisting me so energetically, and I pray to Krishna that you both live for at least 100 years so that you may spread Krishna consciousness to the full extent. In another letter, as your spiritual master, I have my wholehearted thanks for your service. May Krishna bless you. You have done a great service for being recognized by Krishna and continue with this work. In yet another letter, I thank you all very much for making the Rath Yatra festival so successful. Please convey my gratitude to all the boys and girls who participated in this great transcendental service. This is the second year and you have made a great stride from the first year. And in the third year, I hope it will be still more successful. And just a last example, I am so much grateful to you for being such a strong soldier and pushing on this movement. Please continue in this way and give example to your God brothers and sisters. So thank you, Srila Prabhupada, for all that you have done for us and for continuing to teach us through your shining example, books and qualities. And most importantly, thank you, Srila Prabhupada, for your causeless mercy, because of which today I am connected with my beloved Guru. I sincerely pray I can dedicate my life to dearest Gurudev and through him to you and your mission. Thank you once again for everything.
Thank you very much, Radha Mataji, for that wonderful offering. Request Damodar Prabhu to kindly come forward and make his offering, and Gaurang Prabhu, please be ready.
Hare Krishna. Dear Srila Prabhupada, please accept my humble obeisances. As Radha Mataji mentioned that how Prabhupada was so encouraging and appreciative of all his disciples. I like to share some words of Prabhupada which has always encouraged me. I'd like to begin my offering by just recalling Prabhupada's father's desire for him to be blessed by Srimati Radharani's mercy. So his father would invite sadhus at home and feed them, serve them, at the end beg for their blessings upon his son Abhay for Radharani's blessings. So, and of course, we know that many of the sadhus may not be genuine at that point of time, but still, because his father's desire was so genuine, Prabhupada indeed received a profuse amount of blessings of Srimati Radharani. So I would just like to briefly highlight that aspect. Prabhupada himself wrote in that beautiful bhajan, Krishna tab punya habe bhai, se punya karibe jabe Radharani khushi habe. That, oh brother, the Supreme Lord Krishna will bestow virtue upon you, but he will do this only when Srimati Radharani first becomes pleased with you. This I surely declare to you. In establishing ISKCON London, Srila Prabhupada, 3 disciples, the couples, they managed to open the first ISKCON center in London, which was the dream of Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur. And that is going to be fulfilled. Mother Yamuna Mataji desired that we should have marble, beautiful marble deities of Radha and Krishna for this first London temple. And she collected the funds, but somehow the funds had to be utilized for the temple construction, and she could not get. And Prabhupada just assured that Radha and Krishna will come on their own. And then later, as we know, that Radha and Krishna indeed came on their own, and Prabhupada told Radharani has tricked Mr. Goyal, because during transportation, her finger broke. She said, there is no problem, we will install Radha and Krishna, and Srimati Radharani will be fully present. So she has tricked, and they both have come to us. When Prabhupada installed Radha and Krishna deities at Paris, devotees asked, Prabhupada, what can we name the deities? Prabhupada said, Radharani is so beautiful, just like a Paris girl. And Krishna has come here to find out this most beautiful of all the gopis. Therefore, he is Paris Ishwar. And Srimati Radharani has manifested in the most beautiful, splendid form at ISKCON Vrindavan. And Prabhupada told the devotees that we have obtained this land for ISKCON Vrindavan directly under the dictation of Srimati Radharani. And when Prabhupada was in Kumbh Mela 1977, the devotees had not stocked prasadam, the grains and the other ingredients for the kitchen. And Prabhupada was very upset, and he told the devotees that the temple and the temple kitchen is managed by Srimati Radharani. Why should there be any want? Why should there be any scarcity? So he had that firm conviction that only if we just don't mismanage, then everything will be very well managed by Srimati Radharani. And that has been my inspiration, that I should not just mismanage things. The temple and the temple kitchen is managed by Srimati Radharani. And lastly, I will just narrate this beautiful pastime where in ISKCON Juhu, where Prabhupada, he walked into the temple, and Prabhupada always encouraged the devotees to dress the deities very beautifully. As he walked into the temple in 1972, he saw Radha Ras Bihari were very gorgeously dressed, the new outfit, and Prabhupada was very visibly very pleased. He offered his obeisances to Radha Ras Bihari, and while even offering obeisances, Prabhupada turned his head up and he glanced at them, took darshan. And with a very broad smile, and the devotees pushed Mother Tungbhadra Devi in front of Prabhupada, who had stitched that new outfit. And Prabhupada looked at her and said, thank you so much. Make thousands of such outfits. And this is 1972. Make thousands of such outfits for Radha Ras Bihari and dress Radharani more beautiful than Krishna. And then Prabhupada said, then Krishna will never leave. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Damodar Prabhu, And while Gaurang Prabhu is making his offering, request Vrishabhanu Prabhu, please be ready.
Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki. Srila Prabhupada had the amazing quality of humility and enthusiasm both combined. Sometimes when someone is humble, it becomes difficult to be enthusiastic. And when you are extremely enthusiastic, it becomes difficult to be humble. So Srila Prabhupada was a combination of both. And that was the reason why he was so successful and so influential. He was giving a talk at an event in Germany, and Prabhupada was giving the description of the Varnashrama. He was sitting on the Vyasasana on the stage, and he said Brahmanas are first class, Kshatriyas second class, Vaishyas third class, Shudras fourth class. And he was just giving a generic description based on Chaturvarnyam Maya Srishtaman. Suddenly, one young person in the audience, he got up in a very angry tone and he challenged Srila Prabhupada and he said, "What do you think? You are first class, sitting there on the top of the stage, and we are all fourth class sitting here below?" And when he made that kind of a remark, there were several German disciples of Srila Prabhupada, very well built and, getting ready for some seva. And they were really very offended that Srila Prabhupada is being insulted like this. And they were waiting for some indication that, maybe we should escort this person out. At that moment, Srila Prabhupada folded his hands, and with his eyes closed, there were tears flowing from his eyes. And Srila Prabhupada said, "I am fifth class, servant of all the other classes." And when Prabhupada said this person who kind of challenged Srila Prabhupada was so taken aback because he had never seen a reaction like this. So he became totally bewildered and he sat down. In the initial years when Srila Prabhupada was at the Ananda Ashram of Dr. Mishra, there was not too many openings which were coming up. And Srila Prabhupada was still very enthusiastic and he was always making some attempts how he can get some opening. So one day, Srila Prabhupada talked to Dr. Mishra and he said that although you are practicing Ashtanga Yoga and teaching yoga, but you should support Lord Chaitanya's mission and help me establish Krishna consciousness in New York. And Dr. Mishra said, "Why? Because I am into a different kind of process." Srila Prabhupada said, "You know what is the name of Lord Chaitanya's father? Jagannath Mishra. What is your name? Mishra. So you have something in common. So I think you are the person who can really help me." So he would take whatever was the opportunity to connect somebody and make them engaged in Krishna consciousness. So this combination of humility and enthusiasm is what attracted millions of souls from across the world to Srila Prabhupada and his teachings through the Bhaktivedanta purports. And one such personality, amongst many of Srila Prabhupada's gems, when Prabhupada was in New Vrindavan, the devotees said, "We are making a beautiful house for you and we want to, decorate and ornament it with jewels." And Srila Prabhupada said, "My devotees are my real jewels." So this Vyasa Puja is the first Vyasa Puja after the disappearance of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. And I want to share a story because Srila Prabhupada really wanted his books to be distributed. And in Canada, one of the interesting stories was like two Indian gentlemen were on a car ride. They were going across the borders of Canada and their car broke down and they were stranded. They were standing on the highway taking a hitchhike and a van stopped responded to these two, brought them on their van, and offered them some breakfast prasadam. And these two gentlemen saw in the back section of the van was all Bhagavad Gitas as it is. And this was a brahmachari from ISKCON in Canada. And he was like a 24 or 25-year-old devotee, initiated devotee, Gopal Krishna Maharaj disciple. And he had like all these different Bhagavad Gitas of different sizes, all in English. And these two gentlemen asked him that your age is only 25. What inspires you to dedicate your life to spread this Bhagavad Gita? Even in youth in India, we don't see are so inspired. This is in the early 90s, late 80s, in the between 85 to 90 period. So this brahmachari said, Srila Prabhupada, the founder of ISKCON, wrote these commentaries of the Bhagavad Gita so that it can be distributed to each and every person across the world, because this message has come from India, but it is meant for the whole world. And these two gentlemen from India were so pleasantly surprised and impressed that here is a young person who is dedicating his entire life for spreading Sanatana Dharma with dedication. They left with such positive impressions about ISKCON and Srila Prabhupada. And fast forward 1996-97, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj had already completed building the East of Kailash temple ISKCON in Delhi, and the inauguration was going to happen. And the devotees from ISKCON Delhi went to invite at that time the Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee. So when they went to invite him, he said that almost 10-15 years ago, in the highways of Canada, myself and my colleague Shivraj Patil were stranded, and that is the time an ISKCON devotee gave us a lift, gave us breakfast, and told us about the Bhagavad Gita and Srila Prabhupada's mission. And it was a random encounter on the highway. It could not be faked. And so we have full faith in the dedication, the purity, and the sincerity of your founder, His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, and therefore I will definitely come for this inauguration. And that speech by Honorable Prime Minister at that time, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, is still one of the classic speeches where he has glorified Srila Prabhupada so wonderfully. And it was the first time since ISKCON was established in India by Srila Prabhupada in 1970-71 that a Prime Minister in office visited an ISKCON temple for an official event. And so on this day, as I glorify Srila Prabhupada and remember his contributions, I'm also deeply moved to remember one of his very stalwart generals, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, who dedicated his entire life to spread his mission not only in Delhi NCR, but practically in many parts of North India, Africa, Canada, and Russia, a kind of revolution which none of us have seen before. And it's a testimony of the reflection of Srila Prabhupada's mercy and grace. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gaurang Prabhu. And while Vishabhanu Prabhu is making his offering, request Vishaka Priya Mataji to please be ready.
Hare Krishna. Everybody knows that the Supreme Lord Krishna incarnated in Mathura, Vrindavan. But what everybody does not know is that Krishna consciousness was born in United States of America. So we have every reason to acknowledge the contribution of Western disciples of Srila Prabhupada for ushering in Krishna consciousness not only in United States but also all over the world. Now, I want to make a confession today before my Gurudev and all the devotees here, that way back in 1967-68, we had just shifted to the university campus in Kalina. And at that point in time, several disciples of Western disciples of Srila Prabhupada used to come to campus, and they would sometimes come to my room and say, "We want to talk to your research students." And because of my own, upbringing and my inhibitions, I was not encouraging them. In one sense, I committed several aparadhs, and today I think seems to be the right platform to confess that, I did not do what I ought to have done. So I'm very, very sorry about that. Basically, the inhibitions which we had about Western disciples of Prabhupada, those continued for quite some time. But fortunately for me, after some years, I came in touch with His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, and all my inhibitions, all my misunderstandings were completely eliminated. So thank you very much, Maharaj, for your wonderful contribution to my spiritual life. Otherwise, I think I would be steeped in so many offenses against devotees. So therefore, what it also means is that when there were opportunities in my life to join Krishna consciousness, I lost them because of my inhibitions. But also my students, probably some of them would have taken to Krishna consciousness and prospered. I came in their way also. So offenses on both the counts were there. Srila Prabhupada, in the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, he writes that Devahuti, she had Kardam Muni as her husband, such an advanced devotee, tapasvi. She had Swayambhuva Manu as a father. But she herself regrets that though, I had such wonderful opportunities to progress in spiritual life, I did not seize the opportunity and lost the opportunity to progress in spiritual life. But fortunately for her also, in her life, her own son, Kapil Dev, he came and he brought her on the right track. So we are also very fortunate that we are in this moment wherein there are so many devotees who can bring us back to the right path. And today I would like to express my deep sense of gratitude to my Gurudev and all my God brothers, and especially to Srila Prabhupada for having tolerated so many things, so many blemishes from me. So I would like to thank everyone for their cooperation, everyone for just putting up with my all nonsensical behavior. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vishabhanu Prabhu. And while Vishaka Priya Mataji is making her offering, request Shivaram Prabhu to please be ready.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada's appearance day is always an epic day for all of us. EPIC means enhancing our Prabhupada inspiration and consciousness. Srila Prabhupada's books, his teachings and his words, his activities, his qualities all define Srila Prabhupada. And different people described him in different ways. So somebody mentioned that he was like a living university because his words were drawn from a deep well of knowledge. And our Vishakha Mataji mentioned that his message was so real, so clear, so powerful, and yet so simple and practical that it aroused some sleeping understanding in us and grabbed hold of us at our very core. It appealed to our higher nature and transformed people, sometimes by a single contact. Somebody else said he was a perfect bhakti yoga master and lover of Lord Krishna. So one Baba Bal Mukund, he said, Srila Prabhupada was a pure bhakta and revealed reality about bhakti because he could change people of the West, change their dress, change their diet. In fact, he changed their entire culture and gave them true bhakti. Giriraj Maharaj's father, one time he visited Calcutta and he met Prabhupada and he was saying that, Swamiji, can I take my son back? So Prabhupada said, you can talk to your son. And Giriraj Maharaj said that, I would like to stay with Prabhupada. And he said, but I want to make him sign some papers for a trust, which I want to put $1 million in. So Prabhupada said, yeah, whatever you want, you can ask him. And then he said, no, I want to stay with Srila Prabhupada. So Prabhupada said, can he not be a normal devotee like some other people who are staying in their homes and practices Krishna consciousness? So Prabhupada said, but he will not have association if he stays in Chicago in your house. Here in Calcutta, he has so many devotees and he can have association, and his mother started crying. So he said he has to be vegetarian here and he won't get enough protein. So Prabhupada had a bowl of sandesh and rasgulla next to him. And Prabhupada said, these sweets, Bengali sweets, they are made of cheese and they are very high in protein. And he said, Giriraj, every day you should eat 1 dozen sandesh and rasgulla. So Prabhupada, then his father told Prabhupada, Swamiji, you are very intelligent. So he said, no, your son is intelligent. He said, no, Swamiji, you are intelligent. So then Prabhupada said, maybe I am intelligent, because otherwise why so many young, intelligent boys like your son have joined me? Giriraj Maharaj, we cannot talk of Prabhupada without talking about his disciples. So one time, Tamal Krishna Maharaj, we know what a strong, stalwart devotee he was. Personality. So he decided, people were choosing their GBC zones. So he's asked for being GBC for India, because he said Prabhupada is spending maximum time in India. So he wanted to stay there. But after some time of being in India, you know how things work in India. So he got really that he was not getting much help and things were not working out the way he thought. So a strong personality like Tamal Krishna Maharaj, he went to Prabhupada and he broke down. And he started crying. And Prabhupada said, what happened? So he told that, Prabhupada, I am struggling all alone. Nobody comes to help me do anything over there. And he was conveying his side of the story. And Prabhupada started laughing. And he said, actually, Arjun was also in condition like you helpless. And that is very fortunate condition. And Tamal Krishna Maharaj is wondering, that Prabhupada is saying like that. And then Prabhupada explained that we should pray for this type of situation so that constantly we are engaged in Krishna's service and Maya cannot find any means to enter. So with Tamal Krishna Maharaj, he conveyed like that. Then Yamuna Mataji and Kaushalya Mataji, one time they were traveling in the car with Prabhupada and Prabhupada had to buy some shoes. So they went to a Bata store and Prabhupada told them that, go and choose shoes. They were young girls, so they both went and they saw some crisscross plastic shoes of Bata. And they each one brought one shoe and put it at Prabhupada's feet. And Prabhupada said, you like them? So they said, yes, Prabhupada. Then we should take them, So such a small incident, it endeared Prabhupada so much to their heart. Somebody else asked how to balance life. Because, it's so difficult, material life and spiritual life. And Prabhupada said, in India, in our Indian villages, we have women who go to draw water from the well. They put so many pots on the head and they are still able to balance it because they are very focused in life. And they can do many other activities simultaneously. So if a devotee can focus their mind on Krishna, then it becomes very easy to balance life. Another time at Kumbh Mela, people were telling devotees that we come here to come out of the cycle of birth and death. So they asked Prabhupada, is that so? We have come to get out of the cycle of birth and death? Prabhupada said, no, we are already liberated. We have come here for preaching, so we should do our seva like that. Another time, Prabhupada gave such high messages, but still he was so very practical. Again, Giriraj Maharaj, he wanted to follow a very strict, he was a brahmachari at that time, to follow a very strict brahmachari lifestyle. So they were in Surat at one rich businessman's house, and all devotees were sitting for prasad, and again, Gujarati person, he was feeding prasad too many times. So he was again and again approaching Giriraj Maharaj for rasgulla, second rasgulla, third, and he was refusing. So Prabhupada kept noting that he was getting little upset. So he told Giriraj Maharaj, you can always have one rasgulla to please the old man. Ekadashi, devotees were asking that should we follow fasting whole day and continuously chant whole day and night? And Prabhupada said, no, devotion means devotional service. That is not necessary. We have too much service to do for Krishna. If you can do, it is all right. And along with all this, he was still so very humble. Just last thing, Yamuna Mataji once went to Prabhupada and Prabhupada was sitting behind his desk and he said, Prabhupada, you look like a picture I've seen of your Guru Maharaj looking up from his desk. And Prabhupada's face immediately, shrunk and he said, all that glitters is not gold. My Guru Maharaj, he was gold. I am just iron. Such humility, So Srila Prabhupada, to hear and know about you in different situations makes you even more realistic in our lives and in our thought process, even though we never physically met you. And we want to keep celebrating our great, great, great fortune of having connected to you and your devotees. And by some rare causeless mercy, we got this. So Prabhupada, please bless us that we can also become restless like your other empowered soldiers to spread this big message of yours in some small way through our words and behavior. Hare Krishna.
Vishakapuri Mataji, and while Shivaram Prabhu is making his offering, would request Radha Dyuti Prabhu. Is he here? Radha Dyuti Prabhu, please be ready.
Hare Krishna. So there are hundreds of saintly personality present today, and there were hundreds of saintly personality present in the past. They were very, very highly learned, deeply studied in the scriptures, very, very highly renounced Vairagi, but they couldn't transform the hearts of the conditioned soul. Because these qualities they are great, but they fall short to transform the heart of the conditioned soul. But then how could Prabhupada do it? Because Prabhupada had unending compassion for the conditioned souls. He had complete faith in the holy name, and he had oceanic love for Krishna. Because Prabhupada knew, Dina hina jata chilo harinamu uddharilo. If you chant Hare Krishna mantra regularly, then even the most fallen conditioned soul also will be delivered. Therefore, Prabhupada gave such a system. He gave an institution, he gave temples, he also established temples, he introduced deity worship, he also wrote books, and most important, he gave a regulated lifestyle. Chant 16 rounds of Hare Krishna mantra every day and follow 4 regulatory principles. Before taking a vows of Harinam initiation, every devotee is supposed to take a vow of chanting 16 rounds of Hare Krishna mantra and following 4 regulatory principles. Couple of years ago, one sannyasi had come to our temple. Of course, he was not invited by the temple. On his own, he came and he started speaking to few college students, IY students. And then he said, why did your Swamiji introduce this new system, taking up vows of chanting Hare Krishna and following the 4 regulatory principles? And then he started saying that even in my dream, I cannot break these 4 regulatory principles. So, how long you can do this, sir? How long you can put faith in your mind? Even you can do it. But how many people can do this? So therefore, even Arjuna also says, I can control the wind, I can control the cyclone, but I cannot control my mind. Therefore, even Rupa Goswami also says, Anukullasya sankalpa pratikullasya varjanam. Whatever things are favorable, then sankalpa means take a vow of those things. So taking a vow of following the 4 regulatory principles and chanting Hare Krishna mantra, because Prabhupada knew we need regular commitment, everyday commitment towards Krishna, not just occasional devotional service. Sometimes in Janmashtami time, our mood is okay. We may chant 64 rounds, 100 rounds. But what's the guarantee that we can continue those chanting every day? Therefore, Prabhupada said, Sankalpa, take a vow of chanting 16 rounds of Hare Krishna mantra every day and then follow the 4 regular principles. So, therefore, we should thank Krishna and thank Prabhupada. Actually, he knew the heart of the conditioned soul, and he also knew the disease of the conditioned soul. And he also knew the exact medicine and remedy for the conditioned soul. So, Prabhupada, he gave us a regulated lifestyle. And then he said, if you chant 16 rounds of Hare Krishna mantra every day and follow the 4 regulatory principles, it's a guarantee that you will go back to Godhead within same lifetime. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
So as Radha Dyuti Prabhu is making his offering, we request Rukmini Mataji to please be ready.
नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमती भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नित्य नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे In Sanskrit, there is a saying, Phalena parichiyate. You judge what kind of a tree it is, how fruitful, how potent, by the kind of fruits that you see, the taste of the fruit, the kind of fruits, the quality of the fruits. So the full understanding of this Sanskrit saying hit me during my visits to Russia. I've been visiting 3 times I have visited, but the last visit this year in June, July was the longest. I spent almost more than a month in Russia, traveling to different places, far off remote places, in the corners of Siberia, city like Moscow, and very nice cities like St. Petersburg, Moscow, and also some villages in Siberia. And everywhere, the enthusiasm of the devotees, the kind of enthusiasm the devotees exhibited for practicing Krishna consciousness, the way everybody would be there up right in the morning, and it's cold. Like I was joking in Siberia. It was supposed to be summer, but what they call as summer is what is the peak winter for us in Mumbai. The temperatures are like that. I mean, at night it goes to like 10, 12 degrees Celsius at night. And the day it's maximum 22 degrees. So that's our winter. But they call it summer. And they're very happy. And they are looking forward to that summer so that they can do Harinam Sankirtans in the parks, in the streets, distribute books profusely. And to think, all this started by one meeting of one person with Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada meeting one person, one Russian boy, Anatoly, meeting Prabhupada, and for 3 or 4 days. During which time, Prabhupada transferred the entire, not only the philosophy, not just the philosophy, of course, philosophy he transferred, but along with that, he gave him a practical guideline of how to live a Krishna conscious life, along with guidance about how to make prasadam, how to roll chapatis, everything, detailed guidelines within 3 or 4 days. And by the end of the trip, he also arranged for one lady disciple of his from London to go to Russia and marry this devotee. And from that one devotee, the kind of devotional outpouring that we see from the devotees who are still carrying on that legacy is really amazing. It's not that they have not faced obstacles. They faced tremendous obstacles in the face of communism. And now also it's not that they are it's all very, very hunky-dory, very smooth sailing. No. But still their faith and their conviction is something really amazing to see. And it boosts my own conviction and my own desire to have some sort of that kind of a desire to strongly participate in the Sankirtan movement which Srila Prabhupada has given us. So Srila Prabhupada, on this day of your appearance, I would like to beg to you to kindly bless me and bless all of us with that kind of conviction so that we may also take to Krishna consciousness, take to the Sankirtan movement with renewed vigor and dedicate our lives to the mission of Krishna consciousness. Thank you very much, Prabhupada.
Thank you, Radha Prabhu. Russia seems to be in news, both spiritual and material, interesting. So we'd like to request Rukmini Mataji to make her offering and request Sita Mataji to please be ready. And please restrict it to 3 minutes only. We are just reaching the last part of the offerings.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada, on this auspicious day, I would like to meditate on this beautiful Vaishnava bhajan, which has been written by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, where he writes, Yadi Prabhupada na hoito. So it is a very beautiful bhajan, but today I would just wish to meditate only on 2 stanzas of this. The first one, which says, Yadi Prabhupada na hoito, tabe ki hoito, jiva na bahita kise. Nithai gaurera apara karuna kedito sakala deshe. If Srila Prabhupada had not come, what would have happened? How could we have passed our lives? Who else would have distributed the unlimited mercy of Lord Nityananda and Lord Gauranga all over the world? So Srila Prabhupada once, when he was installing deities of Shri Gaur Nithai, he sang the beautiful bhajan, Parama Karuna. And just after singing maybe just the first line, Parama Karuna Pahudui Jana, Nithai Gaurachandra, Srila Prabhupada just choked and tears just started flowing from his eyes. It was just out of compassion. So Srila Prabhupada, we are so grateful to you. If you were not here, how would we have got this amazing mercy coming from the Vaishnavas in the line of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu? The fifth verse that I would like to speak from His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj, the sweet bhajan. The verse 5 says, Gita Bhagavata Chaitanya Charita Premamrita Rasasar Kathana Sundara Sarala Kariya Ke Bhujai Teyar. If Prabhupada had not done this, that is, the Bhagavad Gita, the Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita, which contains the essence of the nectarian billows of love of Godhead, who else would have ever explained these scriptures so easily and so beautifully? Srila Prabhupada always said that books are the basis. His books are those ticking time bombs which would completely revolutionize this entire world. Srila Prabhupada, we are recipients of these time bombs. So today, I just express my deep gratitude to your wonderful disciples, my dear spiritual master, and all the Vaishnavas who are representing your teachings and dedicate our lives completely at your service. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very, very much, Rukmini Mataji. And while Sita Mataji is making her offering, we would like to request Vraj Sundari Mataji to be ready.
Hare Krishna. Dear Srila Prabhupada, today is the day of your appearance, a day to celebrate and remember how you took great risks to spread Krishna consciousness, a life of total sacrifice and surrender. At an advanced age, when others take rest, you took arduous journeys across oceans. A heart full of compassion for the fallen, you taught Krishna consciousness with so much patience. You fulfilled the prophecies at your birth. You built 108 temples and circled the globe, preaching Bhagavad Gita in the English language, teaching the Western world the purity of the saffron robe. Almost 50 years have passed since you left, leaving this world sad and bereft. Your young disciples grieved your loss, yet took so much responsibility. Through so many ups and downs, yet their vows they kept. Today the world is in great need of the pure teachings of Bhagavad Gita wisdom. In a violent world, so many wars and human degradation, only the King of knowledge can elevate us into Krishna's kingdom. You stayed awake whole night at such an advanced age to translate the Vedic scriptures bright like the sun, dissipating the darkness of Kali Yuga with every page. Your humble heart never aspired to be the guru. You considered yourself to be the servant of all, a true ambassador of the spiritual realm. You who are endowed with all 26 qualities, a pure devotee we call. You never discriminated between genders. For you, anyone who surrenders is worshipable. You empowered your daughters to preach and serve in every way, never ever made them feel they are incapable. Dear Prabhupada, my eternal grandfather, your unconditional love for me I received in the form of your glorious disciple, my Guru Maharaj. Why he gave his causeless mercy on this fallen soul can never be conceived. For years you dedicated your life to please Guru and fulfill his instructions, begging you, Srila Prabhupada, for strength to get over my weaknesses and serve to please my Guru Maharaj with full dedication. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very, very much. And request Brasundri Mataji to make her offering.
My dear Srila Prabhupada, please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. My humble obeisances unto the lotus feet of Guru Maharaj and all the Vaishnavas. As devotees of Krishna, it is very nourishing when we hear the words of Krishna and also we hear words which describe Krishna's pastimes and glories. As Gaudiya Vaishnavas, it is very nourishing when we hear the words of our acharyas which describe about Krishna, and also when we hear about our acharyas. As Gaudiya Vaishnavas and specifically part of ISKCON, it is very, very specially nourishing when we read and hear words of Srila Prabhupada and also hear about Srila Prabhupada. The most precious gift of Krishna consciousness in the parampara of Lord Chaitanya has been presented to us by Srila Prabhupada, and we are here only because he presented to us in a way that we could accept. But what all has gone behind this? On Jaladuta, Srila Prabhupada, you prayed, Nachao, Nachao, Prabhu, Nachao se mate. Please make me dance. Make me dance as you wish, as you want me to dance. But we know that it is not only on Jaladuta, but it is a prayer of your life that you always wanted to do Krishna's will and follow the words of your spiritual master. And Krishna did make you dance to teach us what it means to be an instrument. The seasicknesses, heart attacks, and so many times the ill health that almost took you away from us, but you carried on to give Krishna to us. I just wish to read a part from Srila Prabhupada's Leelamrit that we happened to read on the day of Balram Purnima last Monday. And I'm just repeating because that really touched me. And coincidentally, that part spoke about Janmashtami and Srila Prabhupada's Vyasa Puja. So this is to give just some background. This is from August of 1971, and Prabhupada is traveling extensively. Srila Prabhupada has now arrived in London after traveling to many places, and from New York he has landed in London, and he is not keeping well. He is very sick. On August 14th, 1971, Prabhupada writes to His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, "I'm sick here since the last 4 days. There is no sunshine. Almost always there is darkness and rain. So it has affected my health because I'm already rheumatic." Srila Prabhupada also said that he wanted to retire from traveling and management. Prabhupada said, "This body is old. It is giving warning." But Srila Prabhupada, we know that you never give up. You always extended yourself till your last breath to give all of us Krishna consciousness. So continuing from Leelamrit. On August 14th, Srila Prabhupada observed Janmashtami, the birthday of Lord Krishna. On the next day, Prabhupada's own 75th birthday, a paperback book collected homages by his disciples arrived. Many of the Vyasa Puja homages praised Srila Prabhupada for his extensive traveling to deliver fallen souls and all over the world. and for the vast scope of his merciful preaching. In the interest of time, I'll not repeat all. Satswarup Maharaj has given many portions of these wonderful offerings we can read in Leelamrit. So I'll just read one. At Vyasa Puja time, we, your intimate children, are gathered at your feet to tell you our feelings as best as we can. By your blessings, we can go forth from this Vyasa Puja gathering of 1971 and all devotees gathered as one great ISKCON without faction. Truly perform the work with our thoughts, words, and deeds. Let us go and distribute the literatures of Srila Prabhupada, Krishna's message, kindly delivered to the Western countries. Let us cooperate without ill feelings amongst ourselves. Let us very strictly observe all regulative principles and stay as pure representatives as possible. Let us celebrate pure Sankirtan and magazine distribution to please you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So this way devotees are glorifying. And after this Vyasa Puja also, Prabhupada's ill health continued. And Shyam Sundar Prabhu recalls that one day he was sleeping outside Prabhupada's room, and in the middle of the night he heard Prabhupada calling him, and it was an urgent call, and Shyam Sundar Prabhu rushed to the room, and in the doorway Prabhupada just fell down unconscious, and Shyam Sundar Prabhu picked him and put him on his bed, and Prabhupada was unconscious, his eyes were closed, and Shyam Sundar Prabhu was so worried what has happened. He turned on the heater, increased the temperature, and he just covered Prabhupada with blankets and was waiting, and he was calling for Srila Prabhupada, and then Srila Prabhupada just opened his eyes and he said, oh, go get paper powder paste for me. He only told him how to make paper powder paste. Shyam Sundar Prabhu ran to the kitchen, he got the paper powder paste, and then Prabhupada told him how to apply. And then Shyam Sundar Prabhu was worried, so he was just sitting next to Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada told him, just, you can go and I'll be all right. So Prabhupada took a rest, and next day Prabhupada was just completely all right, as if nothing had happened. And he continued doing his translation work and everything. So Shyam Sundar Prabhu recalls that it was not a normal incident. It was almost close to death. And Prabhupada just, fought it back because he wanted to give Krishna to many more. So Srila Prabhupada writes again, I was sick for 4 to 5 days. Now I'm a little better, but the disease is prolonging in a different way. I cannot sleep at night more than 2 hours, and during the day sometimes I'm feeling some dizziness. Otherwise, everything is all right. I'm chanting Hare Krishna as usual and writing my books regularly. So Prabhupada, in whatever condition, he continued to give Krishna. So Tribhuvannath Prabhu recollects and he says, once Prabhupada was very sick in India, so there were no programs arranged. So Prabhupada asked, why there are no programs? And devotee said, Prabhupada, because you are sick, Prabhupada, so no programs. And Prabhupada said, sick? I'm like a cow. Wherever you take me, I will give milk. So today on this auspicious day, Prabhupada, please bless us that we individually and as a family here at Shri Shri Radha Gopinath Mandir receive with gratitude what you have so selflessly offered to us. Live by it and share with everyone by being little cows in our little capacity, so that wherever we go, we give only Krishna by our thoughts, words, and actions. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you, Vrajsundari Mataji. And at this point in time, we have the great honor to invite His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj to kindly address us and make your offering to Srila Prabhupada.
Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirbhishesha Shunyavadi Paschatyate Shatarine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktabinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for being here. Hearing the realizations, the knowledge, and the spirit of inspiration that has been spoken by you today very much humbles me and awakens a most joyful hope. Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote on the Samadhi temple of Srila Haridas Thakur, he reasons ill who say that Vaishnavas die. When thou art living, still in sound, Vaishnavas died to live and live to spread the holy names around. How this is echoing in our temple room today. Srila Prabhupada living with us, among us. The Vapu and Vani are actually simultaneously one and different. Vapu, the physical association of our gurus and the great Vaishnavacharyas, and Vani is the sound vibration of their teachings, and also the sound vibration of hearing devotees who were recalling their Vapu connection. And they are both beyond the limits of material time because they're transcendental. Through Srila Prabhupada's books, his lectures, his letters, his instructions to disciples and followers, we have received the message of our Guru Parampara coming through Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates to the time of Krishna, and beyond that to the time of Narada Muni and Brahma. This timeless teaching Srila Prabhupada has given in his Vani. And his Vapu, his pastimes while he was physically present on this earth, are also eternal. I'm hearing Srila Prabhupada's pastimes today from you. And almost every one of the pastimes told, we've probably all heard them hundreds of times. But yet how relishable and how sweet and how inspiring and how faith-building they are. It was really like just, how many times have we heard pastimes of Krishna? We'll be going to Mayapur with Srila Prabhupada's grace in November. And you'll be hearing mostly pastimes that you've heard so many times before. And that's why we go. Because the more we hear, if we're actually hearing receptively, the more we hear the same, the deeper and deeper the realizations are. And even the spiritual relish of it is. To be enthusiastic to hear Shravana is the means by which we get deeper and deeper realizations. We could learn more by hearing the same thing we've heard hundreds of times enthusiastically, if it's transcendental instruction and pastimes. We could learn more than learning something new. It's natural to want to hear something new. But Parikshit Maharaj explained to Sukadev Goswami that hearing from you, everything is newer and newer. And Srila Prabhupada would tell us we are chanting these 3 names in a mantra in the form of 16 words. I'm a little hesitant to say it because I don't know how long the echoes will happen. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Radha Gopinath temple, the Maha Mantra is echoing from the walls and the ceiling and the floor and everything. But Srila Prabhupada will often say, 16 rounds every day? Now, how many names we're chanting? And yet kirtan, and in places like Mayapur and Vrindavan and other places, 24-hour kirtans. And if we're hearing attentively, if we're hearing in such a way that we're trying to surrender our hearts to please Krishna, not only as we're hearing, but through the life that we're living, then Krishna's pleased to reveal himself. And that's where the real spiritual experience is when Krishna's revealing himself and we're making that connection within our hearts. And Krishna reveals himself not only through his own pastimes, but through the pastimes of those who love him. So we are hearing these beautiful pastimes of Srila Prabhupada throughout the evening, and how much excitement it's being spoken. There were so many devotees that have been spoken about that had so much personal, physical association with Srila Prabhupada. And they became spiritually electrified by that association. And then when they speak about, we get that same current of electrification according to our receptivity. At the beginning of the event this evening, Sridhama Prabhu, he quoted His Holiness Niranjan Swami Maharaj, that when Radha Gopinath, when Krishna hears us appreciating with gratitude through our glorification of Srila Prabhupada, that gives so much happiness to Krishna. Yes, yesterday was Janmashtami, and we were making so many wonderful offerings to Sri Sri Radha Gopinath and Abhishekams. And today, on the day of Nandotsav, where in Krishna's Leela, that is the day of the great celebration, we are making offerings to Srila Prabhupada of our love, our gratitude, our appreciation. And what is Srila Prabhupada giving us? As transparent via media. Those were the words Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada would use for the spiritual master, the transparent via media. If we meditate on those words, it's profound. And Srila Prabhupada, he is transparent via media. In our appreciation, in our gratitude, in our love, and in our offerings to Srila Prabhupada, how much we're giving pleasure to Sri Sri Radha Gopinath. And it's in giving pleasure to the Lord through the devotee of the Lord that Krishna is pleased to reveal himself to us. And this sacred principle is beyond time. It's beyond generations. Srila Prabhupada received instruction to take Lord Chaitanya's message to the Western world in the English language in 1922. As we have heard, he was married with a child, responsibilities. But still, that message, that presence of his spiritual master for just that short meeting in Calcutta on a rooftop, 43 years later, he took that journey to the West to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. And it was, as was described today, the humility of Srila Prabhupada, that I'm simply executing the order of the spiritual master. I don't know how to preach to these people. I'll just repeat your words, Krishna, as my Guru has given me. And by your power, they could understand. He took no credit, but yet he was fully enthusiastic. And this is such a transcendental principle. Gauranga Prabhu was describing it, and it's really a transcendental principle. How to be enthusiastic and humble. Because materially, people are enthusiastic because of what we get out of it, directly or indirectly. Yes, we're enthusiastic to work, usually because we get money. You know, for ourselves, for our family, for name and fame of charity. We want fame, we want recognition, we want physical benefits and pleasures. So the whole world, we see such enthusiasm because, you know, we will gain materially. And if we're not gaining materially, then why are we enthusiastic? But the spiritual principle, Srila Prabhupada was giving up literally everything to give pleasure to his Guru and to give mercy to all of us in the world. With the most enthusiasm. That is a transparent via media. Yes, remembering Srila Prabhupada's pastimes. Remembering and sharing his teachings. And sincerely, earnestly, and honestly trying to apply them to our lives, moment by moment. That is where we can experience what Krishna consciousness actually is. Radhaduti Prabhu was telling about his visit to Russia. Tens and tens and thousands of enthusiastic devotees. In the early days, they were persecuted, prosecuted, tortured. How did it all happen? Srila Prabhupada just got an invitation. He wrote to some professors. He was writing all over. And he got an invitation to Russia. And he took it so enthusiastically, with such enthusiasm. He tried to get a visa. And yet, it was very difficult. But Srila Prabhupada pressed it and asked different devotees, and finally he got one. And Shamsundar Prabhu tells the story. He went with Srila Prabhupada. He got him the visa. Srila Prabhupada was not allowed to go out and mix with people. He was very contained. He was only allowed to mix with a couple totally atheistic professors. But Shamsundar would go out to try to find some food for Prabhupada to eat. There was practically no vegetables there at the time, or fruits. And he happened to meet a Russian boy and an Indian friend and brought him to Prabhupada. And Prabhupada for 3 days was so enthusiastic to preach to him. And then Prabhupada was enthusiastic in so many ways. He sent Mandakini Devi, a girl, to marry him. He sent Srila Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj for a book fair because it was a professional type of situation. And thousands of devotees now, tens and thousands. And I'm not just speaking of Russia. We're speaking. There was a Hare Krishna explosion in the whole former Soviet Union and Eastern Europe. Whatever's happening in all the countries of that Eastern Europe, and that it was all from that hopeless situation where Srila Prabhupada planted that seed and electrified devotees as his representatives. We heard story today about Srila Prabhupada and Mukunda Goswami Maharaj, and at that time, Janaki Devi, start a center in California. They were devotees for less than 1 year. They never lived in the temple. They lived in a flat, a little apartment in the Bowery. But they went. And in San Francisco, Srila Prabhupada had met Yamuna, Janaki's sister, and he electrified her heart. And they just came together, and it created a spiritual revolution there. Krishna consciousness became nationwide in America by the devotees in San Francisco. And it was all established by a husband and wife who were devotees less than a year, and the others were just devotees who became devotees at that time. And 3 Grihastha couples from there, they were only devotees for less than 2 years. They were sent to London. And they created a whole Hare Krishna explosion in London. There was one devotee, even before them, who was sent to Germany. And he started a movement in Germany. Srila Prabhupada just sent some couple disciples to Africa, and let us look what's happening in Africa now. Beautiful temples in some countries. Here from India, he sent some devotees to Australia, to Japan. There's thousands of devotees, many temples, New Zealand, Australia. Now, most of you here have been devotees 10, 20, 30 or more years. Srila Prabhupada established these temples and these entire nations with devotees mainly. He planted those seeds, even coming to India. Devotees who just were so inspired by him, even though they were only devotees for a couple years. They were so empowered. And we're all reaping the benefits of the current of grace that Srila Prabhupada manifested through them. When I first came in contact with Srila Prabhupada, it was just a few minutes from here at Cross Maidan in Park. 1971, I believe, March or April that time. And there were thousands of people coming because of a lot of advertisement. But behind it, there were just everything that was going on was Srila Prabhupada's empowerment on just a few people who just came from the West, who didn't know anything about how India worked. And nobody was a devotee more than about 5 years, at the most. And they were raising funds, they were advertising, and they were setting up pandals. None of them had ever done any of this ever before in their life, anywhere in the world. How did it happen? I remember, I'm seeing 20,000 people coming, but I'm just seeing a handful of Western people who actually manifested it all. And I didn't see any Indian people at that time who were actually devotees committed to our ISKCON movement. Srila Prabhupada's selfless, enthusiastic, totally humble commitment to carry out the order of his spiritual master was an expression of Srila Prabhupada's pure, unalloyed love for Krishna and his pure, unalloyed compassion for all living beings. And that was so powerful. We heard how Srila Prabhupada was talking about an international society for Krishna consciousness. Even before anyone was initiated, there were just a few people visiting a broken down storefront in what then was a really run-down area of New York. And the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. It was actually bewildering. Is this a dream? Is this just some sort of propaganda? They could feel and they could know from Srila Prabhupada that this was his enthusiasm. This was his faith, which was all coming from his prema, his love. And therefore, when they saw Srila Prabhupada in such a humble situation, never giving up, and so blissfully serving in any situation, they were electrified by that current. And actually, they just went out there and did the same thing. When I say did the same thing, that means they were Srila Prabhupada's puppets. They were letting that current flow through them. And this is a humility that we must very deeply pray to understand. Because where there's a current, if we don't honor and protect that current, then there could be a short circuit. And when there's a short circuit, sometimes the current just doesn't go through anymore. There's nothing there. And at other times, it could create an explosion. and a lot of suffering and fire, which means a lot of suffering and confusion. So how great a responsibility we have to protect that current. And I'm so grateful and so proud of all of you for receiving Srila Prabhupada's mercy and Shri Radha Gopinath's mercy in such a way that over years and decades, you still have enthusiasm to spread this mission. You still have the enthusiasm to rise above the inevitable discrepancies and quarrels and challenges that come between us, to preserve his community and expand his community. Surrender. Through surrender, we're connected and empowered. Surrender is not something that happened in the past and now it's done. Surrender is moment to moment, reinvigorating. Making the conscious choice to remain connected. And it shouldn't be surprising to us, either when we hear about it or see it, that people lose their enthusiasm. People become disconnected. What is the loss? The loss is in the opportunity. But but the gain is eternal. Whatever advancement we make is forever. Whatever distractions we succumb to, it will be burned away through suffering and karma. But nothing could ever burn away the investment of whatever positive devotional service we have done. To become a very pure advanced devotee means we have such a higher taste for surrendering that it's the joy of our life. Nothing else interests us. But to reach that point, we need to make a conscious choice, moment to moment, day by day, year by year, decade by decade, throughout our whole life, to keep that connection as our greatest priority. I thank you, Srila Prabhupada, for blessing all of these devotees and giving them such a wonderful, wonderful appreciation of your divine grace. And it's the joy of my life to hear your honor and respect and enthusiasm to serve Srila Prabhupada. Is really non-different than hearing from Srila Prabhupada's personal associates. Because whatever you have, it's coming from them. And it's not lost in time. When there's disconnection, it's lost. But when that connection is there through our sincere service, it empowers us more and more. this holy day of Sri Vyasa Puja for His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Let us, for the pleasure of Sri Sri Radha Gopinath, surrender our hearts with gratitude to receive Srila Prabhupada's message and to share it with each other in the world. I thank you very much.
Thank His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj for this very, very beautiful and wonderful, inspiring address to all of us by loudly chanting 3 times. So would request Braj Mohan Prabhu to kindly lead us in Pushpanjali and followed by Guru Puja, and would request Purushottam Prabhu to lead us in Guru Aarti.
Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine श्रीवार्षभानवी देवी दयिताया कृपाब्दये कृष्ण संबंध विज्ञान दायिने प्रभवे नमः माधुर्योज्वल प्रेमाढ्य श्रीरूपानुग भक्तिदा श्री गौर करुणा शक्ति विग्रहाय नमोस्तुते नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्रीमूर्तये दीनतारिणे रूपानुगा विरुद्धा सिद्धांत द्वंतहारिणे नमो गौर किशोराय साक्षात् वैराग्यमूर्तये विप्रलम्बरसाम्भोदे पादाम्बुजाय ते नमः नमो भक्तिविनोदाय सच्चिदानन्दनामिने गौरशक्ति स्वरूपाय रूपानुगावराय ते गौराविर्भावभूमेस्त्वं निर्दिष्टा सज्जनप्रियः वैष्णवा सार्वभौमा श्रीजगन्नाथाय ते नमः वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेमा प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपा स्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते जयतां सुरतो पंगोर मम मंद मतेर्गति मत्सर्वस्वपदाम्भोजो राधा मदन मोहनो दिव्यादिन्दारण्या कल्पद्रुमादः श्रीमद्रत्नागार सिंहासनस्थो श्रीमद् राधा शील गोविंद देवो प्रेष्टालिवि सेव्यमानौ स्मरामि श्रीमान् रासरसारम्भी वंशीवटतटस्थितः कर्षन् वेणुस्वनैर्गोपीर् गोपीनाथाशियेस्तु नः तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। एष पुष्पांजलि। श्री प्रभुपाद की। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। एष पुष्पांजलि। श्री प्रभुपाद की। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। एष पुष्पांजलि। श्रील प्रभुपाद की।
Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma. Vando Moi Savadhana Mate. माते जहाँ प्रसादे भाई ए भव तोरिया जहाँ कृष्ण प्राप्ति हो जहाँ होइते कृष्ण प्राप्ति हो जहाँ होइते गुरुमुख पद्म वाक्य चीते ते कोरिया ऐक्य आरना कोरी हो मने आशा आरना कोरी हो मने आशा श्री गुरु चरणे रति ऐसे उत्तम गति जय प्रसादे पूरे सर्व आशा जय प्रसादे पूरे सर्व आशा चक्षुदान दिलो जय जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से चक्षुदान दिलो जय जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशितो दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशितो प्रेम भक्ति जहाँ होते अविद्या विनाश जाते प्रेम भक्ति जहाँ होते अविद्या विनाश जाते वेद गाय जहाँ रचरितो वेद गाय जहाँ रचरितो श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधम जनार बंधु श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधम जनार बंधु लोकना लोकेर जीवन श्रील प्रभुपाद पतित पावन हा प्रभु करो दया देह मोरे पद छाया प्रभुपाद करो दया देह मोरे पद छाया ए बेजास गुशुक त्रिभुवन श्रील प्रभुपाद पतित पावन प्रभुपाद 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 जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय गुरुदेव निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Gurudev. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki, Srila Prabhupada Avirbhav Mahamahotsav ki, Samaveda Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki, Nitai Gaura Premanandi. Jayom Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Shtotarashat Shri Srimad Divine Grace Abhay Charnarvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Jayom Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Shtotarashat Shri Srimad Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shyamakunda Radhakunda Shri Giriraj Govardhan ki. Braj Bhumi Shri Vrindavan Dham ki. Navadvip Mayapur Dham ki. Shri Jagannath Puri Dham ki. Ganga Maiya Jamuna Maiya ki. Bhakti Devi Srimati Tulsi Maharani ki. Kaliyuga Pavan Shri Harinam Sankirtana ki. Golokhera Premadana Shri Harinam Sankirtana ki. Srila Prabhupada Guru Puja ki. Srila Prabhupada Avirbhav Mahamahotsav ki. Samaveda Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga.